Dodgers are linked to the next big Japanese star. What are the chances that they sign him? How will third base look next season? Also, Dave Roberts talks more about the outfield picture and who I think will be the outfielders for the Dodgers when the postseason rolls around. Also, Shohei Ohtani will not be in the lineup on Thursday. And Alex Call, is he something? That's coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys ready to parade? We got a parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. And welcome to an afternoon edition heading into the third game of this 4-game series against the Colorado Rockies. Shohei Ohtani is on the mound tonight at Coors Field. First time in a regular season game. The Dodgers able to get the win yesterday. They're still 2 games up on the San Diego Padres in the National League West, sitting at 72 and 54. And you're also looking at where they are at in the entire league. And currently the Dodgers are behind the Brewers, Phillies, and Cubs for the best record in the National League. They have the same record as the Cubs, the Phillies, couple games up, and then the Brewers, everyone's chasing them. They have the best record in Major League Baseball. Today's Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, who should the Dodgers center fielder be in the postseason? This one shocks me. We'll wait till this poll continues to develop, but right now 20% say Tommy Edman, 24% say Kike Hernandez, and 56% say Andy Pages. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support every single episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, easiest thing to do is hit the like button, drop a comment down below. I do like to read those comments. I read them. And let's read some right now. We got Gustavo. Hey, D-Mac, excited to see the unicorn in both sides today. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be extra exciting. Anytime you get to see things we don't get to see. What's up, Muad'Dib? How we doing? What's up, Pickle? And Bush says, what's up, D-Mac? What's up? We got Ohtani. We'll talk about that. Muncie will be our third baseman next year, not Murakami. We'll talk a little about that. We've got, I like this. Joseph says, D-Mac dressed like a middle-aged morning jogger. Finish him. By the way, find someone else. Find another broadcaster, streamer, anyone that reads as many roasts of myself. I mean, let's be honest. I not only show your comments on the screen, but anytime you guys roast me, I read them. Most people would block. Most people would delete. Most people wouldn't read them. I definitely like it because it makes me laugh, okay? I'm not going to lie. I'm dressed like a middle-aged jogger. You know what? I don't know about jogging, man. I do like to swim. I'm one of those dudes who goes out there, does some laps in the pool. I got the full Speedo with the Speedo goggles and the bonnet. Fun fact, in between baseball and football season, one year, I did play water polo in high school. It was good times. I made my first game against PCC. It was at PCC. It was South Pasadena. And the water polo team was really cool with me. They really were. They embraced me. They made me feel like I was a part of the team because South Pass had a great water polo team, right? Now, I was good at baseball, but water polo was a new sport for me. And I'll never forget this. The first water polo match I ever played in, I get into it, and I get the ball, and I'm basically at the halfway line of the pool, and I just straight up chucked that thing, and I tried to score from halfway through the pool, and it went over the goal. It was like Carlton's shot in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they played that basketball game. It was a total fail. It absolutely was. But let's get into it, guys. There's so much Dodger baseball to get into, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so let's start with the hottest story is still the division race. It's still finishing the job against the Colorado Rockies. You lost Monday after the offense went 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. You didn't score more than 3 runs. You had the play by Teoscar, or the lack of making a play by Teoscar there at the end. But tonight, it's a special night because anytime Shohei Ohtani toes the slab and he's also hitting leadoff, it's Unicorn Day, right? You've got Shohei Day. Anytime it's DH Shohei, that's showtime. But when he pitches, that's the Unicorn Day. And the Dodgers, they just released their lineup just moments ago. Let's take a look at this lineup and see who is batting where and playing where. If there's any takeaways, any surprises, let's take a look. You got Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff at DH, and then batting in the 2-hole is Will Smith. So a 3-hit game for Smitty last night. He's behind the dish at catcher, then batting third, Freddie Freeman at first, and then hitting cleanup in right is Teoscar Hernandez. Andy Paz batting 5th in center. Michael Conforto back in the lineup, batting 7th. Then Alex Freeland at second, batting 7th. Miguel Rojas at shortstop, batting 8th. And then my buddy, your buddy, our buddy, Buddy Kennedy, batting 9th at the hot corner. So the noticeable absence is no Mookie Betts. Mookie getting a rest day, and Rojas made a tremendous play yesterday after Emmet Sheehan airmailed Freddie Freeman on a little comebacker to the pitcher, but Miguel Rojas was able to track it down, and they got the runner at second. So we know the kind of defense he has, and we know, too, that he's been a great bat this season in those opportunities considering his role. So that's the lineup in this one. And I want to talk a little more about Alex Call because it was so impressive. Went back, did the rewatch, did the highlights of the breakdown, and it was so impressive to see Alex Call get 4 hits. And yes, we know it is Slump Buster City, right? It is Slump Buster City at Coors Field. And you guys know what I say. Coors Field is like, let's say you're bowling and I don't know about you guys. I got some friends that are really good bowlers. And I'm not trying to say I'm good friends with Mookie Betts, but I got some friends that are good bowlers. And every time I go, like, they're going strike after strike. And I'm like, man, how do I get my confidence up? So, you know what I'll do is I'll get a separate lane and put the bumpers down. And yeah, I'll bowl with the bumpers on. I'll bowl with the bumpers on for a little bit. And that gets my confidence up. And that's what happens when you are playing baseball at Coors Field. You get your confidence up. And heading into yesterday's game, Alex Call was hitting 174 in his first 13 games with the Dodgers. He had a double, no RBIs. And then in his first game with the Dodgers in Colorado, he raised his average, hit the longest home run this season for the Dodgers, 453 feet, and he would increase that batting average from 174 to 286. He just looked a lot better at the plate. And I think moving forward, what you're going to see with Alex Call and his role in this team is he's going to get more opportunities against right-handers. I mean, left-handed pitchers as a right-handed batter that's good against lefties. So anytime there's a lefty on the mound, I want to see Alex Call in the box. And I think the pressure is on for Michael Conforto. Yesterday when Dave Roberts was asked about the outfield picture, the big takeaways from his response, and he was asked if Teoscar Hernandez was going to move to left and that they're considering it. And what Dave said was that I want to give Michael Conforto some more opportunities. And I think Dave didn't realize that, yeah, he was showing a vote of confidence in Teoscar Hernandez, as he said that, hey, he expects him to improve. And he said that there was a point in time where Teo played some pretty solid right field. So his show of confidence for Teoscar Hernandez was also saying that, yeah, he has confidence in Michael Conforto right now, but he hinted that, hey, I'm going to give him some more opportunities. And what I took away from that was that Michael Conforto is in put up or shut up mode right now. It's either you produce or you're either going to the bench or you're getting DFA'd. And I think that this next 2-week stretch is going to be pivotal to determine if he's going to be on this postseason roster. I say if I had to bet right now, unless we see an extremely productive Michael Conforto down the stretch, that you're probably not going to see him in left. And I would say the odds are probably south of 41%, right? I think that it's more likely that he won't than he will just because of the year that he's had. He's also a negative defender, a negative base runner, hasn't been great in pinch hit situations. So, yeah, I mean, it's on him. He's got to really tear it up if he wants to carve out a role for this team because Kike Hernandez, he is quickly on his way back. Kike Hernandez has already taken swings and resumed baseball activities. Things have rapidly started to ramp up for the Banana Man, and he could be back with the team next week when the Dodgers come home from San Diego. So that's how quickly Kike Hernandez could return, and when he gets back, that gives you another guy that you need to see in the outfield, also possibly at third base as well, while Max Muncy comes back. So the great thing about Kike is he can play in the infield and the outfield really just as good. And then for him, it's about, hey, does the bat look better after getting better from that elbow injury? Another positive note on the injury front is Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates. They made their rehab appearances. They both pitched scoreless innings, and that definitely is extremely, extremely encouraging. They need both of those guys back. But when I look at the outfield picture in the postseason, talked to some people today, and I heard it's Tommy Edman and Kike Hernandez that will most likely be in center field when all the dominoes start to fall, when October arrives, and they're trying to put their best lineup on paper. And a couple reasons for that is Tommy Edman is progressing well. From a mobility standpoint, they're expecting him to return and not be limited. And Kike Hernandez is a guy that you need to get postseason at-bats for. And the truth is, too, that we'll see how Max Muncy progresses. And depending on how he looks, if Max Muncy can't get back in time, you could see Kike Hernandez or Tommy Edman at third and the other one playing center field. So those guys could help this team defensively and offensively and fill some of these holes. Guys that you're not going to see, there's 3 guys that I think are at risk of falling off this roster. The obvious one would be Alex Freeland. He's got a nice cup of coffee, got his first RBIs, and got his first double, got his first extra base hit, and he's played some solid defense at times, but he's a guy that won't factor into the postseason roster. Then Justin Robleski, I think, is another guy that, unless they have multiple injuries, will not be a part of this postseason roster, at least right now. And then the one that I'm looking at, when you actually write all the names down, who's kind of fighting for his spot, I think it's going to be Ben Kasparius. I mean, Jack Dreyer has been so good this year. Ben Kasparius has had times where he has looked like, okay, he's our great high leverage reliever. And those are the guys that are, I think, going to be fighting. I mean, Ben Kasparius had a 10.24 ERA in July, but he's been really good in August, a 1.50 ERA. Was throwing 99, had that really nice moment against the Padres to dot that 99-mile-per-hour fastball in the corner to get out of the inning to strike out for me. So I'm just looking at those younger guys on the roster, the Ben Kaspariuses, the Jack Dryers, and when you look at this bullpen, when the veterans come back, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Michael Kopech, and you got Vesia, Anthony Banda, and all these guys, it makes you wonder, do those guys have spots on this team? Because, I mean, Edgardo Enriquez throws gas, and I think when you will do kind of a deeper dive on it, but those are guys I'm looking for to finish strong, and every time they get an appearance, you make the most of it, because they've also pitched a lot of innings too, and they've done a lot for this bullpen throughout the year, that if it looks like they're out of gas or they're not as effective as they were at the beginning or the middle of the season, I think that will be something to consider. So just throwing some names out there that you're going to want to watch that could impact the roster situation. But just want to put on record, want to plant the flag here in center field. I do not want to see Andy Pages. I do not. And that's not because I don't want to see him in the lineup. I think he's deserved a spot. He's earned his role on this team. Now, last year, it was a different story. Last year, Andy Pages, it was, oh, cool. He's pretty solid. Great start, then cooled off, then picked it up again. But he wasn't a guy that you would say, no, we need to have in the lineup every single day. Well, in the month of August, hitting .233 with a .647 OPS. Then July, .247 with a .681 OPS. And then we know how hot he was before that. He was really had a great month in June, a .912 OPS. And then in May, a .691 OPS. And then April was really hot, a .986 OPS. So 3 of the last 4 months, he's posted sub 700 OPSs. And it makes you wonder, are they going to lock him in to that spot? I think that's another guy you want to follow closely down the stretch as far as overall production. Because I think if you're not going to move Mookie Betts to right field, which right now, based on everything you hear, seems to be the case that he's going to stay at shortstop, well, the move that would improve their defense while keeping Andy Paz there would be to move Andy Paz in right, use that range, use that strong arm. You always have your best corner outfielder in right, and then you move your one that's the most of a liability, your biggest liability outfielder to left, and that would be Teoscar Hernandez. So we went into the weeds on that yesterday, so we won't necessarily do that. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Teoscar Hernandez move to left, Andy Paz move to right, and then center field, you have either Tommy Edman or Kike Hernandez. Those are the guys that I want to see in there right now. But I also think I want to pay close attention to what Alex Call does for the rest of the way. How does he build on the rest of his time? Because yesterday, yes, it was Colorado, slump buster city, but sometimes you have a game like that and just things start to happen and you really earn your spot. Because not only can he get some hits, he works counts and he forces pitchers to get that pitch count up. And I love what he said to Kirsten after the game. I mean, give a listen to this dude's confidence, man. Got me hyped. Here was Alex Call after his 4-hit game where he was just a triple away from hitting for the cycle.
Yourself quite a day at the plate, 4 hits, the second time in your career, but it started with a home run, the first one with the Dodgers. Just can you tell me, how good were you feeling at the plate today?
Yeah, pretty amazing. Praise God. Just, been working and trying to get, just calibrated here. A lot of new things going on, but just trusting that, I know I'm a great player and I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to help this team win. After that home run, it kind of seemed like you just had a feeling of relief. Was that what you were feeling there, and just kind of having that moment of finally contributing to this new team? Yeah, I mean, it obviously feels great to contribute and help out. And I mean, that might be the hardest ball I've ever hit, or the furthest ball I've ever hit. So it's tough to not feel amazing after that. But yeah, really, honestly, the things that I've been working on in the cage with the coaches, credit to them for just giving me a couple tips to just kind of, help me put me in a good spot and really drive the ball, which obviously I did tonight. So just grateful for their help as well. I happen to know that over the weekend, for Players Weekend, you got a shiny new red bat. In it, you were raving about this bat. Did it have anything to do with the result today? We can give the red bat some credit. It felt really good in my hands. I wasn't sure if it was going to be legal or not, so I chickened out and just went with Old Faithful, and delivered tonight. Old Faithful delivered. When you look at just the offensive performance, what's it like when you're now a part of a team when you guys have 18 hits, 11 runs? That was awesome. Guys weren't really trying to do too much. It was just pass the baton, take your knocks, and just keep the train rolling. And that was awesome. It's really been fun to be a part and watch these guys do their work, watch how they go about their business, and just a ton of respect for all of them. And it's great to be a part of it. Before I let you go, you were a triple shy of the cycle. How much was that top of mind, those final 2 at-bats? I was just trying to get on base and, whatever, but it's tough when everybody else is yelling, if you hit the ball, you better not stop running. So, there was obviously in your head, and it's a special thing to be even in that situation. And so didn't do it tonight, but maybe in the future. Congratulations, regardless, on an incredible performance and the team win tonight, Alex. Yeah, thank you.
So there's Alex Call, and I love the altitude. I mean, attitude. Wait, it's Colorado. No, look, better call, right? That's what we were saying yesterday. And this guy does bring something, and I'm very, very excited to see what he can do, especially against left-handed pitchers. The defense, the effort, he's hard-nosed. He's not here just for one season, right? The Dodgers, they have him under team control, so he's not someone that's a rental guy. So they're going to try to continue to develop him and optimize him and try to get the most out of him, and that's a big thing for me. I mean, if he was a rental guy, I'd be like, okay, cool. I mean, what is this? But no, he's a guy who's under years of team control. The Dodgers have him until 2029. I mean, he's pre-arbitration. So, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is get used to this dude, right? This is not going to be the Joey Gallos. This is not going to be the Billy McKinneys, the Steven Souzas, right? The dudes who you just kind of forget about. This is the guy that's going to be on this team for the foreseeable future. So you want to embrace him and make sure that he's given every opportunity to help this team. Got some notes out of Colorado. Fabian Ardaya tweeted Roki Sasaki is continuing his rehab assignment tonight in OKC. So that's another thing to be on the lookout for. The velocity was down in his first appearance on his rehab start, 92, 94. That's the big thing for him. If you can get that velocity up, you've got that nasty demon fork, that ghost fork, and you're hoping that you can pair those two, work in his slider, and who knows if he could be a weapon out of the bullpen. So just a deeper cut to be on the lookout for. But now I want to switch gears to the future. By the way, we're debuting a new segment. I got a new segment later on the show. We're going to dedicate a segment every single week to something about Shohei Ohtani, calling it the Big Show. So that'll be in a second here. But I do want to talk a little bit about Munetaka Murakami. Munetaka Murakami, he's the next big Japanese star to come out of the NPB. But the difference is he's not a pitcher like Yamamoto and Sasaki. He's a position player. And it could be third base, could be DH, could be first base, depending on which team he signs with. But MLB insider John Heyman, he recently was asked about the 5 teams that have the best chance to sign him and linking him with certain teams. And here's where he had the Dodgers ranked.
All right, my number 1 team is the Mariners. Right now they've got Suarez, second time around for Suarez at third base for them. Obviously they needed to get him. He is a free agent. I doubt he resigns there. I mean, he was there once already. That wasn't his best years, but he was pretty good there before. But look, the Mariners have the money. Obviously, they've had Japanese players before and done well with them. To me, the Mariners are an excellent fit for Murakami. Number 2 team I've got is the Dodgers. They're a $400 million payroll team. They're willing to do anything, right? I think Muncie's still got some play left in him, but, they're willing to move things around. They do great with Japanese players. Obviously, they've got superstars already. Galore, the greatest player of the last, I don't know how many years in Ohtani. You've got Yamamoto there. Dodgers, a potential fit, although Muncie's still got a year to go. But they're not going to worry about that 10 or 14 million, whatever he's making, if they can get Murakami. I think that's number 2. Number 3 team, I got the Mets. David Stearns was just seen over there, right? Mets have 3 third basemen right now, but are any of them the answer? I don't know. Bates seems to be very good defensively, which is a little bit of a surprise. We weren't kind of expecting that, but he's still hitting around 230. So, I mean, I'm not going to rule out the Mets. Stearns did take a trip. Is he wasting his money? I don't know. I don't think they're the favorite, but I can see it. Vientos obviously took an unfortunate step back this year. He's hit a little bit better lately, but he has not been great. I mean, I do think, they probably want to give Beatty more of a chance. And Mauricio, certainly, he's just come up and he's done, by and large, pretty well, but he's not Murakami. So we're going to put the Mets as number 3 and number 4. The chatter mentioned it earlier. The Red Sox are my number 4. What's his contract going to look like? Geez, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. He's not going to get as much as Ohtani. I'll say that. I'm not really going out on a limb there. Red Sox, they didn't sign Bergman, right? Bregman's a free agent. I think he's a great fit there, obviously. He's been awesome with Boston. No, that doesn't really rhyme. But anyway, he's been awesome with Boston. They have great young players, and he's a great leader for that team. I think they need to re-sign Bregman, so I'm not going to call Boston the favorite. That's why they're number 4 here on my Murakami list.
So there was John Heyman listing the Dodgers at second. Yes, that was pretty vague, but I'm just preparing you because you are going to see the Dodgers linked to him for natural reasons, the Japanese connection. He has made it clear that he would prefer a West Coast team, whether it be the Dodgers, whether that be the Mariners, but the team he would consider on the East Coast would be the New York Yankees. Now, we'll talk him in a second, but the first thing the Dodgers would need to decide before they would consider signing Murakami would be, what would you do with Max Muncy? Because right now, Max Muncy has a $10 million club option. He told me in an interview I did with him earlier this summer that he wanted to finish his career with the Dodgers. He also wanted a multi-year deal, right? He doesn't want just to get picked up on a $10 million club option. I'm sure Max Muncy, I just have to assume that he would prefer that the team would tack on some years onto that. And that may take him to his age 36 or 37 season, could be 2 or 3 years. Makes you wonder, how would that defense play years down the line? I still think that Max Muncy is such a special bat that the only thing that hurts him is the injuries. And at this point, you've got the oblique injuries, couple years of that. You've got the situation that he's had with just banged up the knees. I mean, that was a freak incident, but still, I think if you're the Dodgers, you're just considering, hey, do we want to go with proven veteran that we know produces when he plays? Yes, he did have that long slump to start the year, 105 plate appearances without a home run. That was the longest for his career, but he was also one of the hottest hitters in the sport for a month plus. Does he go back into a slump? Does he sustain that? Do the glasses make a difference? That's the question the Dodgers need to ask. Do they think that the bat of Max Muncy is worth below average defense and someone who's in and out of the lineup because he's injury prone? Those are kind of the hard questions and conversations they need to have. Like I said, I hope you tune into this show because it's the Keep It 100 hard conversation Dodger show sometimes. And we have to ask those questions. If it were me, I mean, I see how this year plays out. If Max Muncy comes back and he crushes it throughout the postseason, it'd be tough to take him off this team because not only does he mean a lot to this lineup, he also means a lot to this clubhouse. So I think that would be the play there. But if you're the Dodgers, you also wonder, hey, do we want to get younger? Because they're already the oldest team in baseball when you look at their average age and kind of the direction that they're headed in. And Murakami is a guy who's younger. He's 25 years old. But the question for Murakami is even a 25, 26-year-old Murakami defensively as good as a 35-year-old Max Muncy defensively? That's a good question because he's not known for his defense. A lot of people think that he should be a DH. We saw how Yoshida has fared with the Red Sox and his defense being substandard, how that's impacted him at the plate. So that's kind of a big question for Murakami is the state of his defense and where he wants to play. I mean, I know it's funny. It's like, okay, how much is he going to get paid? Oh, the answer, how much money are the Dodgers going to defer for him? Could he get a 50, 60, 70, 80, $90 million deal? I think a lot of that has to do with how many teams are involved. I think a lot of that has to do with how much they believe in him as a complete player because he's one of the trickiest players to evaluate. I mean, think about this. In the NPB, with 80 plate appearances as a minimum, he ranks first in the sport with a .625 slugging percentage, first with a 47.8% hard hit percentage, first in average exit velo at 91 miles per hour. So hits the ball hard and slugs, but also second to last in strikeout rate at 33.3%. If you're striking out at 33.3% in the NPB, what would that look like in the show? And then a 38.6% whiff percentage. That's second to last. And also, too, the concerning thing is his inability to make consistent contact and even on pitches that are in the zone. He has a 73.3% zone contact rate, and that's fourth to the bottom. And you look at his overall contact, it's not something that you think would translate to a league that has better pitching. When he faces better pitching, would his numbers decline? Or is it hey, rising tides lift all boats, and you put him around better players, he has to adjust, and he's around better hitters, he learns from them. He's around better coaches, he finds a way to make adjustments. We saw Hye-Sung Kim already make some very positive adjustments, keeping that front foot down. He can hit better velocity now that he's in the show. So we've seen guys go out there and adjust, but it's a major, major question. He's not the lock that Yamamoto was. And Roki Sasaki was always going to be a wild card. And the difference between Sasaki and Murakami is Murakami, you have to pay him big bucks, right? He's not coming over on a minor league contract. So Sasaki was always going to be great no matter what, even if it didn't work out because of how much you're paying him. You have to invest more in Murakami. So I think right now we're still in evaluation mode. I think Alex Bregman, like I said yesterday, it doesn't even matter about the 2017 Astros thing. I mean, he's a guy that you'd be signing at age 31. I think this team needs to get younger and not older if you want to sustain the run with Shohei Ohtani. So, yeah, my biggest concern for Murakami is would he hit high velocity at this level? The pro, though, is like I said, he's 25 years old. He's still young enough that he can adjust and get better as a hitter. And also, too, he's a 30 home run guy in the NPB with dead balls there. So that's pretty solid power, man. And then, you look at it from those early years, some of those numbers were pretty wild. He was putting up big numbers there where you're slugging 711 and just going absolutely berserk. In 2022, he slugged 711 at 128 strikeouts. So very boomer bust, but he's very intriguing. I think the number one thing for me is this. Let's be honest. I'll look you in the eye here. If Shohei wants him, Shohei gets him. If Show GM wants Murakami on the Dodgers, then he makes it clear with Murakami and Friedman, and Shohei gets what Shohei wants. So, hey, I don't know what's inside the mind of Show GM, but that would be my answer to that. So, and two, does Yamamoto and Murakami and Sasaki, do those guys recruit him, and how important is that to him? So that's another factor, because if he wants to be a Dodger, he'll be a Dodger, right? Let's just point that out. And if the Dodgers want him, then they have a spot open for him. So that's the other thing, too, is that there is a natural spot open for him, right? It's not like it's a superstar Japanese catcher or a Japanese first baseman. Yes, he should be playing first, but Freddie's there, right? The position that he could play is potentially open. Is that the best position for him? A lot of people that I've talked to said he really should be a DH, but he's still young enough that I do think he's still incredibly intriguing. But all right, guys, going to get to you in a second here. It's going to be a quick show, but I will get to the seventh inning stretch, answer all your thoughts, comments, and questions. Then I'll go on my middle-aged jog, like you guys made fun of my quarter zip. You know what? Actually, funny. Someone in the chat sent me this. I feel so bad because I forgot his name, but they sent this to the Dodgers Nation studio. It's kind of a extra medium here on the tighter side, but yeah, it's definitely pretty comfortable too, though. All right, guys, got a new segment. I'm calling it The Big Show. We're going to dedicate one segment every single week to the great Shohei Ohtani, who is the starting pitcher and batting leadoff tonight for the Dodgers.
The Big Show.
All right, so this week on The Big Show, we are going to look at something that's not getting talked about enough for Shohei Ohtani this year. Now, Shohei Ohtani has quietly really heated up. In August, he's hitting .381, a .506 on base, is slugging .746. He's hit 6 home runs. He has 10 extra base hits in 17 games this month, and he's continuing to hit bombs. Last season, he set the Dodgers franchise record with 54 home runs. This year, with 36 games left on the Dodgers schedule, he's on pace to break that with 57 home runs. Now, my preseason bold prediction was that Shohei would hit 60 bombs, so I need him to pick up the pace so I don't take another L like I did with the Conforto take. But still, this is a guy that is putting together legendary seasons and arguably the best offensive seasons in this franchise's history while he's pitching like an ace. Like, how do we even process this? Think about this. there have been just 5 seasons in this franchise's history where you've had these big home run seasons, right? These big home run seasons where you got 40-plus bombs. He's the only dude to do it twice. You got Shohei Ohtani last year with 54. Sean Green did it in 2001 with 49. Adrian Beltre had 48 dingers in 04. Belly had 47 belly bombs in 2019, and then Ohtani has 44 this year. So he already has 2 of the 5 Dodgers 40 home run seasons. And he also already has 301 total bases. That makes him just the 14th player in Dodgers franchise history to have 300 total base seasons in back-to-back years. But the record that sticks out is how many runs he's scored. He has scored tons and tons of runs. He is at 120 runs this season. That's how many times Shohei Ohtani has crossed home plate. 120 times in the Dodgers' first 126 games. He's the first player in Major League Baseball history to score 120 runs in the team's first 126 games since Ted Williams, the splendid splinter, did it back in 1949. So at 120 runs, he's on pace for 154 runs scored this season. The Dodgers' franchise record for runs scored in a year is 148. That was set by Hub Collins back in 1890. The modern era, Babe Herman has that record with 143 back in 1930. And since 1947, only Ted Williams and Jeff Bagwell have scored more than 150 runs. Williams did in 1949, and Jeff Bagwell, with one of those iconic / weirdest stances ever, did it in 2000. So he could do something special on that end too, is scoring runs at that rate. And he's got 36 games left to go. I want 150 runs. I want 60 home runs. And I want some more records broken by the greatest, most complete player. Remember, he's not the greatest player ever, which he could be. I still think pound for pound, you can make the case that he is. But what he already is the greatest player ever imaginable. No one could ever imagine that you could have a guy pitch like this and hit like this. So, Ohtani, go Tani, unbelievable stuff. All right, guys, let's get to you coming up next on the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, we got the 7th inning stretch rolling. Picks, Graficos, DMAC, the new Dodgers in 2026, Murakami, Takahashi, Yamashita, and Hiroto Saki. Okay, man, you're going crazy with it. 275 vet. Max will play on this team till his wheels fall off. He certainly would like to. I mean, he bleeds Dodger blue. I mean, he's already right up there for the all-time home run record. I mean, I talked about this a couple of months ago. Hey, I mean, who knows? If you stay with the team for 3-4 more years and you stay healthy, you could get up there with Eric Karros and try to fight for the all-time record for the Dodgers home run record, which is 270, set by Eric Karros. So who knows? Maybe we could do that. But here we go. It's got some more Tommy G's. We need to buy DMAC an exercise bike, a little Peloton action. Dax player, even repeating the same. We got, yeah, I know, right? So yeah, do you guys want to ban the Evan guy? I mean, I will. I'll get to it. I'll ban him for sure. We'll do a little block party. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. We got some bots in here. Good times. We'll definitely block him. El Manchingo, DMAC block party, please. Evan's mommy isn't home and he's wildin' in his mommy's basement. It's frustrating that the defensive realignments in the outfield are stuck given injuries. Very encouraged by calls game yesterday from Drew Durr. Yeah, I'm looking to give out a comment to the show too. Carl G. So I guess no matter what happens, Roberts will keep starting Conforto. I think that when you see Conforto in the lineup, if you don't want Conforto on this team, you actually want to see him in the lineup right now because they are doing hardcore evaluation on him as we speak, every at-bat, every game. And the more he fails, the higher the likelihood that he won't be on this team in the postseason run, and he won't be on that roster. So if he does succeed, then hey, then it's great, right? Don't block him. He loves you, DMAC. I kind of want to keep him here so I can just cook him, but I just want to focus on you guys. But I will, though. I promise, guys. I'll ban this dude. Tormenta from Wadib. We got Boomer Bust. We got Nathan. Do you agree Kike Hernandez gives us a big boost? 100%. I mean, you just look at his postseason numbers and what he does, too, from the morale standpoint. I mean, he's a guy that just brings a lot to the table. Wadib 69. D-Mac needs to start doing Japanese Duolingo. What's up, Robert? D-Mac. We've got Smo. We got Ayo. What's up? We got Malachi. That'd be dope for the Mariners in Japan and Ichiro, and for Murakami himself. I could see him on the Mariners for sure. I definitely could. They're a very, very viable destination. We've got Senior Jefe, D-Mac. It's a pleasure to see Ohtani in Dodger Blue. We need to stop and smell the Dodger dogs and appreciate we have a unicorn. Yeah, it's a good comment show. Absolutely. I mean, it's starting to get normal, and even when it kind of does, it just every single time it's Ohtani start day, it's wild. I mean, it's just so insane to comprehend what this guy's able to do on a baseball diamond. I mean, we've seen it on the Angels, but now we're starting to see it regularly on the Dodgers. It's like, hey, man, like we've got it good here in Dodger land. Do you think All-Star Mookie could be back from yesterday, 69? That's a really good question. I mean, if you're looking at, I'm going to do my top 10 list of like Dodgers questions for the last 30 games or so. One of the big questions is, can you get all-star hitter Mookie back? And if you can, that certainly raises this team's ceiling, and I think it elevates their floor too, because the tricky thing about Mookie Betts is they're not going to move him down the lineup. So if another hitter feels, okay, like he's struggling, let's move him down the lineup, put another guy in there that could do that. No, they have so much respect for Mookie. They know what he's done in the past, that if he struggles, they're not going to move him to 6th or 7th, right? He's going to stay at the top of that lineup. That's why it's important for him to produce like an all-star hitter, because he's not going anywhere. So it's a fantastic question. I wish I knew the answer. What I do know is that from a mindset standpoint, I think he's at the best spot that he's been in all season, because he's accepted that his season numbers aren't going to be good by his standards, and it's just about taking it at bat by at bat and game by game. I think he's just in a really, really good spot. El Machingo, that's just out of pocket. Give La Puente a shout out. Pablo, that's where my dad's from. Pablo Ramos 420. My dad is from La Puente. My grandparents lived there back in the day, so always a shout out to La Puente. Yeah, La Puente in the house. All right, guys, so running out of time. So let's go to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
So I saw this on Twitter, and I was thinking, guys, we could come up with our own list of like anti-Dodgers versions. But here's this Twitter that, or this Mariners Reddit or Twitter that had a thing. I wonder who all douchebag teaming for MLB would be from Serpentier. They have catcher AJ Pierzynski. I don't think that. I disagree with that one. I don't know him to be a douchebag. I like his commentary and his analyst role that he plays for Foul Territory. Pete Rose, Jeff Kent at second base, Pete Rose at first, Alex Rodriguez at short, Josh Donaldson at third. I still like Josh Donaldson hitting advice. I remember when he was saying, hey, coaches that are trying to tell their players to hit it on the top of the ball, no, you want to get under the ball because that's what pays. Doubles and home runs. Jarren Duran in center. Hey, wait, we love Jarren Duran, I thought. He called someone the P word when he struck out yesterday. Barry Bonds, I think we'd all be okay with that one. That is in left field. Tommy Pham in right. Hey, remember we had the family feud with Jock Peterson, slapped him? Then again, who hasn't slapped someone over fantasy football? DH Albert Bell Albert Bell was a known a-hole, but yeah, remember when he just ran to that dude? Just guy's crazy. Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens for starters, John Rocker, Jonathan Papelbon. Yeah, I don't know. This list is, there's some obvious ones, but I wonder who the Dodgers version of that list would be. Probably Manny Machado, Josh Reddick. Yeah, so maybe we'll make that one. But all right, guys, gotta run. So be back later for the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Shohei Ohtani!
is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade! We got it, Parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series!